Welcome into the Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We continue our baseball preview for the week. We are at Jacksonville High School today talking with the head coach of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles baseball program, Coach Jamison Edwards. Coach, first of all, thank you for taking time to be with us.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having us.
So, Coach, let's just kind of start. Obviously, it's a new season, and you're already it's crazy to think, a couple weeks in. You guys last year, made it to the playoffs, came up short. Just kind of talk about your takeaways from the end of last season, and then kind of just the group of guys that you lost to graduation, and kind of let's just start recapping last year.
Well, last year we won our area and got to host in the first round, and we actually paired up with the same team in the first round that we had played the first round of 2022. The difference was we were kind of reversed. The roles were reversed. In 2022, I had a really veteran team, a lot of seniors with a lot of experience, and they were a real big junior group. This past year, they came over to us as a senior bunch and beat us both games on Friday night 4-1. Both games were 4-1 games, and they played really, really well. Our guys fought as hard as they could. They had a really good night on the mound. They had one elite arm. Yeah, he was probably 93. And then they had another guy who he didn't throw it in the 90s. He was more average high school, probably threw around 80, 81, but was just, he was spotting up and so, we didn't lose a ton. We have a lot of experience. It's just the experience we have this year is not everyday experience. And so some of these guys are getting used to playing every day, and holding down a position, not just having to spot play here and there. And they're getting used to being in a lineup, day in and day out. So I like where we are. There's some things that we are going to have to clean up in order for us to get where we want to, but so far, I think we're on pace from where I thought we could be, based on last year.
You're talking about some things that y'all need to clean up on. That's kind of what was going to be my next question is just from what you've seen so far this season, what are some areas that you feel like you guys need to improve on moving forward?
Well, I think the first place is we've got to improve a little bit on the mound. We've got a lot of guys that we feel good about running out there and letting them pitch. We're a little inconsistent right now. It's hard sometimes for a pitcher just to get up there and understand how much ahead of the game he is. He's throwing a little round ball at a guy holding a little round bat, and it's the toughest thing to do in sports. Standing in the batter's box trying to hit a baseball is the toughest thing to do in all of sports. And sometimes I think we forget, that we're actually ahead of the game there just by virtue of the task that he's got to do. And we start worrying about pitching it too perfect. And we're really just trying to pound in these guys' head. Just stay around the plate, throw strikes, let your defense play behind you. When we've done that this year, we've been a good team. We've been a real good baseball team when we've done that. But good high school baseball teams, when you put them on base for free, and you send them down there on a 4-ball walk, good high school teams are going to find a way to get that guy around and plate that run. And so that's area number one. And then, we've really tried to, again, we don't have as much experience at the plate as some. And so we've really tried to get in their head the two-strike approach, of going from switching from an offensive mindset to a defensive mindset, now protecting the strike zone and battling that pitcher. And I think if we can get those two areas cleaned up, defensively we've played pretty clean so far this year. So I think those are the two big areas that we need to get cleaned up, before we get to the area play.
Coach, some people may not realize just how big Jacksonville's getting. You guys are moving to Class 5A at the end of this season. And so this is your final year in Class 4A, and you're in an area with White Plains, Cleveland County, and Anniston. Now, Anniston, got a win already this season, something that, they can't necessarily say they've done. So they beat Sykes, and then White Plains obviously got Blake Jennings from Ohatchee. Cleveland County returned some key players from a team that made the playoffs a year ago. Just kind of talk about this area and navigating it.
Well, I think the area is a really tough area from top to bottom. I think it's super competitive. I think we are. I think we're all very similar in terms of our talent, and I think it's going to be a situation where when you go to play that area series, who can play the best, the cleanest 2 out of 3 ball games. I do not see a lot of difference in us and Heflin, Cleveland County, and White Plains. I just don't. And we've played Coach Jennings out at Ohatchee for years, and you know exactly what his teams are going to play like. You know they're going to play hard. You know they're going to be well coached and disciplined. And Coach Townsend at Cleveland County is doing a good job with them. And so then Coach Whitfield at Anniston, they're getting better. I mean, they're improving. They've improved, in my opinion, since he's been there. So I think it's going to be a real competitive area. I think everybody's in for a dogfight, each and every week, and that's a good thing. Those are the kind of area series that you want to play in, and so that way whoever comes out of it, when you get to the playoffs, you're a little battle tested, and so you're kind of ready for that atmosphere. So I think it's going to be a good one and a fun one to watch.
Coach, he's still a little young, but your oldest son he's about right here, Coach, where he's going to be playing for you every single night. What's it like just to have him up here and have him part of the program and get to coach him in a way? Well,
that's probably been the biggest adjustment of the year. Is sometimes, Coach Edwards doesn't necessarily talk the same manner that Dad does, and so it was a unique experience, to call everybody up for the first time and standing there looking and all of a sudden, you lock eyes with somebody that you hailed the day they got here. And but I told my wife, I said, I've spent 20 years coaching everybody else's kids. I said, it's just about time to coach my own, and I want to enjoy that. And but you have to be careful. Like you don't want to be Coach Ed at home. You don't want to be Dad at the field. And so, I've tried to make a conscious effort to, when we get in the truck to come home, Coach Ed stays at the field, and from that point forward, it's just Dad. And I've always tried to do that even when he was little, playing Little League or travel ball. When I got there, I was not a coach. I was just a dad watching his kid play. Mm-hmm. And so that's been the adjustment, but our players have handled it great. Our players have always done such a good job of taking my kids in. I mean, my kids have spent so much time up at the ballpark, and they've always kind of looked after them and been like a bunch of older brothers to them. But they've done a really good job with the transition of now he's a player and going through drills with him, stuff like that. But it's been fun. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Coach, I'm going to ask you 2 more questions. The next one's, you haven't always been the head baseball coach since you've been at Jacksonville. You took over this baseball program, not too long ago, a little bit now. But what is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself since you became the head baseball coach?
Well, I was a head baseball coach. When we left Saks, I was the head baseball coach there for 2 years. I was an assistant for... now I got to think about how long I was at Saks. I think I was at Saks for 9 years. So I was an assistant for 7. I was the head baseball coach the last 2. When we came up here in 2012, of course, David Dearman was the long-time, very successful baseball coach. And when he found out we were coming up here, he asked me if I would would help him and be an assistant. Of course, I, jumped at the chance to do that. And really, I've been the head coach here. Now this is season number 6. You're constantly learning, and you're constantly learning about yourself, and you're trying to grow and you're trying to evolve. But, what the thing about my head coaching experience is probably what I'm the most grateful for was the guys that I got to work for. I started at Saks under Chad Hudson, who's at Arab now. Learned a ton from him. Derek Cobb, who is now the principal at Alexandria Elementary. He came in after Chad left, and learned a bunch from him. And then getting up here with David Dearman and David Clark, they were phenomenal. And just the things that I've been able to pick up along the way. And then, the thing is, to me, being an effective coach is you look for opportunities to learn everywhere, right? And so I've got an assistant coach, Josh Blythe, who, he's not necessarily a seasoned veteran coach, but, I've learned stuff from him since he's been with us up here. So, you constantly try to learn and try to get better for your kids so that you can help get them in the best position, for them to compete and be able to win ball games. So just trying to stay a learner, throughout the course of my career. So,
Coach, a lot of communities have something special about them. You just can literally go through every community and pick something out about that community that makes them different. One thing that I've always noticed about Jacksonville, it does not matter what sport, it doesn't matter what time, doesn't matter what location, the community support is going to be as good as you're going to find anywhere. Talk about the community support at Jacksonville and talk about the support of your baseball team.
Oh, we have a great community. We have a great school. It's like everywhere else. There's issues and there's problems, and if you choose to focus on those, it'll wear you down, right? But the support that we immediately had in our move with football, I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable at the way people got behind us. And then, baseball, I mean, it doesn't matter if we're at Henry Farm Park, if we're down the road at Alexandria, or if I've got them on a road trip up to Huntsville. We're gonna have people there. We're gonna have people cheering us on. They are 100% behind these kids, and they are, when we need stuff, they're there to help. Things are well run. So there's some things that as a head coach you just don't want to have to worry about, concession stand and things like that. And our parents are so good to make sure that those things are handled and taken care of. And it has been an absolute blessing to just be a part of this community, to be a part of this school, and to have their support the way that we've had.
All right, Coach Jamison Edwards of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. When we come back, we'll talk with their senior catcher. So do not go away as we continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. Coach,
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston and you can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Weber and Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the locker room. Welcome back into the locker room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts. We are now joined by a senior baseball player for the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, Gavin Peeler. Gavin, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what position you play?
I'm the catcher.
So just catcher, nothing else?
Nothing else, just bowling, just catcher.
Coach Edwards don't let you pitch any?
Nope. They only trust me behind the plate. We have too many guys that can pitch.
Gavin, what would you say is the toughest part about being a catcher?
Probably having to take the blame for some things. That's probably not necessarily my fault, but I feel like it's my job to take blame and keep people composed so they don't lose their minds out there.
Now, I've never seen you catch, Gavin, so I don't know if you prevent pass balls or what. I'm going to ask Ryan in the next segment. He's going to let me know. But you've obviously been playing baseball since you were a kid. So just talk about what got you into baseball. Talk about why you love baseball so much.
At first, when I was a kid, I wanted to play as many sports as I can because all my friends did. But it's just something about baseball. Like, my mom's the one that taught me how to play. She always wanted me to be a baseball player. But something about it it just got in my heart. Like, I just fell in love with it instantly. And I was always a shortstop in Little League. Like, I never played anything. But our catcher went down, and the coach asked people who wanted to play catcher, and no one stuck up. So I was like, I guess I'll do it. And then come to realize, I wasn't that bad at it. Like, I couldn't block the ball, but, I could throw people out. So I just started playing travel ball, worked on it, and here I am today, just still doing it.
So what is it about baseball? You kind of talked about what got you into it and kind of becoming a catcher, but what is it about baseball that you love so much?
Just the family that I've come through different teams I played for. Just being able to, because some kids can't even play, like just being able to do something I like. It gets my mind off all the other stuff where I can just focus on that one sport. Just feels good.
Now, you talked a little bit about playing travel ball, and that's kind of where you worked on your catching skills. But kind of the end of last season, you guys made the playoffs, and then you lost. Obviously, your goal is to win a state championship, and you certainly have the pieces to be able to make a run to do that here. Kind of talk about the end of last season, kind of how much that motivated you during the off season. And then obviously you did play basketball. I'm not sure if you played football or not. You did play football. But did you do any off-season work in terms of baseball, or did you just kind of go right into football?
No, I played. It really struck me last season because I really thought we could have went far, especially farther than we went. I feel like we ended on our season in a bad way, but I kept looking back on it, and I realized that it was my last year this year, and I did not want it to end like that. So I instantly started going to work in the cages and on the field when I can. And I picked up for some travel ball teams. I stuck with one most of the time, and I was on the same team as two of our pitchers, Cole Guthrie and Ryan Mitchell. And then I had to miss some because of football, of course, in the summer, and we had basketball in the summer. So I would try to do as much baseball work as possible, as well as keeping my other two sports, working on it too to improve.
Now, you've been playing baseball since you were a kid. Is there a certain moment that you can remember over the course of your lifetime that just seems to stand out above any other moment when it comes to baseball?
Honestly, yeah. I hit a home run off a kid's head in right field. I was about 13. Just nothing. It was like I had 3-2. I threw my hands at an outside ball. I went to right field. The kid kept running back, and it just bonked off his head and bounced over. And at first I didn't even know it was a home run until I got to second. I was like, wait a minute, it never hit the ground. And I looked at the ump, and he was doing this right here. And I was like, wow, I just hit my first home run. So it's pretty good. I wish I had that on film.
So obviously you guys have played some really good competition so far this season, and you're kind of obviously trying to prepare yourself for area play. You got the county tournament coming up this weekend. You guys are a top 4 seed. You're the number 4 seed. How do you feel like you guys have played up to this point in the season, and where's an area that you feel like you guys can improve in?
Well, at first we had a rough start. We had a very rough first week of playing, but going through the next games, like was Gaston City, even the Lincoln game, even though we lost, I saw guys that are already improving, like just off like 2 games that we played, and then Gaston City, I think it really struck us, because Gaston City's a big name, but I think it struck us. We're like, wow, we have potential, and we can. I mean, if we go to work, the work will show. So going into that game, I think kids were nervous, but we had some guys that were leading and showing them like that names don't matter. It's just how you play. So when we won that game, everybody was like, wow, we could do this. And I told them, I was like, it just gets better on in here. Then we hosted Glencoe, and we lost to them first game of the season. And I was like, we have to get our get back. Like, can't lose to them twice in a row. It just can't happen. So when we beat them, the guys were like really seeing it. People were hitting the ball that normally don't hit the ball, and they felt good about themselves. And of course, I told them, I was like, I've never beat Alexandria as in baseball. I've never beat them, and I was like, I want to beat them. I was like, I need y'all to give it y'all's all, get all this hard work. Don't worry about the big name that they have across their chest. I was like, just go in there and fight. And we did that we fought the whole game, but it just didn't go our way. We made the simple errors that changed the game by that much.
Yeah, but you talk about Alexandria. That's a team, Gavin, that some are picking to win Class 5A this year. So to play them to a 10-7 game and have that game as tight as it was in the 6th inning, you can obviously build off of that moving forward. You got the county tournament starting Friday. Just talk about, man, getting to play at Choccolocco Park and just the atmosphere of being a part of the county tournament.
It's definitely something different. I've always seen it as just a bigger field and try not to let a ball get past you, because if not, they're always scoring. But it's definitely something to remember. Like, not a lot of people don't get to do that, so I'm just really excited to. I'm trying to go far and go to a county championship and win that.
What's Coach Edwards like? Talk about Coach Edwards and just what he's like as a coach, and then talk about what Coach Edwards means to you personally.
Coach Ed is probably one of the nicest, meanest guys I know. Like, he really cares about you, but when he snaps, you'll know. But it's all love. He just knows that you're better than what you think you are, and that he's always trying to improve us. And I know that he's probably probably the best coach I've ever had through high school and through my younger ages. Like, he's really, really showed me a lot, and not even like become a great player, just becoming a great man. Like, just a really nice guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know my interactions with Coach Edwards have been just great, great interactions. Final question: what does it mean to you to play for Jacksonville? What does it mean to you to be a Golden Eagle?
I'm just a lot. I've always been a Jacksonville. Just having that name across my chest just makes me want to just show that we have a great program. Like, I want to be the best I can be, because I don't want people to look at our program like it's bad or anything. Like, it just means a lot to me.
Absolutely. I said that was my last question, but your senior side, I did want to give you one more. What do you want people to remember the most about Gavin Peeler? What do you want your legacy to be when you're graduated and moved on?
I want to be a great leader. I want people to tell me that I was one of the best leaders they've had, just an overall good guy. But I want to have the most people thrown out in one season. Like, I want people to remember me that way too. That way they have something to chase, to try to beat later on, and hoping that they don't beat it. But I want something to hold, and I want to make All-State this year. So because not many catchers at Jacksonville have done it. I think we've had like one or two. So be another thing to be remembered by.
All right, good luck to Gavin the rest of the season. Hey, we are not finished talking Jacksonville Golden Eagle baseball. When we come back, we'll be talking with another player as we continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
We continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. We are now joined by Ryan Mitchell, who's a senior baseball player for the Jacksonville Golden Eagles. So, Ryan, why don't we go ahead and start with you telling everybody what position you play?
I play third base, and I'm a pitcher.
All right, third base and a pitcher. Talk about the differences from being on the mound compared to when you're handling the hot corner over there.
When I'm on the mound, I'm not really thinking about anything except throwing strikes and just trying to let them hit the ball and let my guys behind me make the outs. And when I'm at the hot corner, I just want to play my best for the team, and so I can help my pitcher out.
Now, obviously, you've been playing baseball since you were a kid. What was it about baseball that made you decide, hey, this is a sport that I want to stick with and play? And then also, what is it about baseball that you love so much?
It was definitely the challenge and the slide in the dirt when I was a kid. That was definitely it. Like, made me want to keep on playing. But the challenge of trying to hit the baseball, trying to get better at pitching, throw harder, develop more pitches to throw, and getting better at fielding and fielding everything, situations and stuff.
Now, obviously, I talked with Gavin just a little bit about how the season has went so far, but kind of from your perspective, how do you feel like things have started, and where do you feel like you guys can improve the most?
It definitely started out rough. We weren't really hitting the ball and definitely striking out a lot, not having a good two-strike approach. Our fielding and our pitching was good at the start, and it's still good now, but our hitting has definitely picked up a lot since the first game.
Now, you got the county tournament coming up this weekend at not Jacksonville. It's at Oxford. Used to be played at Jacksonville a little bit, but it's at Oxford. Obviously, it's SIG Field, a little bit of a bigger field. You've got the 4 seed. Just kind of talk about the county tournament and kind of the senior year. This is your last time playing in the county tournament. Talk about what it's like to just be a part of that atmosphere.
I mean, it's great because I know a lot of guys on the other teams and stuff, and for me, I love having that competition, like knowing who they are and being able to go against them for our schools. And that's great. And the size of the field doesn't really bother me. I always try and just hit it gap to gap. And when I'm pitching a bomb, if I give up a home run, it doesn't bother me. Like, they earned it. They just absolutely hit the ball perfectly for it to go out. And yeah.
What is it about Coach E? Talk a little bit about Coach E and the way he coaches, and then just talk about Coach E and what he means to you personally.
Yeah, Coach Ed, he's a great coach. Definitely one of the best coaches I've ever had in football and baseball. And in baseball, he tells us all about the 2-strike approach, gets on us when we mess up about it, but keeps on encouraging us and telling us that it's for us to be better and not just his way or the highway. And like, he doesn't want a bunch of robots on the field. He lets us have like our personality on the field and like in the box. He doesn't make us have one stance, and that's great. And Coach Ed, to me, like, as a person, he's a great guy. He loves God, and like, he means a lot to me. Yeah, he's definitely taught me a lot.
Now, you're a senior, so you're about to graduate in a couple months, and you're going to move on past Jacksonville High School. Kind of talk about what your goals are for this season. Obviously, you want to win a state championship, but what are your goals? And then just talk about what you want your legacy to be remembered as.
Yeah, we definitely want to go for the state championship, but we got to take it one game at a time, just focus on the next one. But the main goal for the team is to get 20 wins on the season, because Coach Ed always says, if we get 20 wins on the season, we're a great team. And that's the big goal. And to not have a lot of strikeouts. That's another big goal.
Who would you say is someone that maybe he's not a senior that people need to keep an eye on, that's someone that's going to be really good and contribute to this program moving forward?
Jackson Bonner. Definitely Jackson Bonner. And Kingston Bueller, his brother, Gavin's brother.
So you said Peeler's brother. Which one's better, Gavin or Kingston?
Kingston has the higher batting average right now, but Gavin has only been back for like 1 week. So yeah.
Now, are you a guy that likes to watch baseball in your spare time?
Oh yeah, I love watching Major League Baseball.
Who's your favorite player?
Austin Riley.
Okay.
Austin Riley.
So are you a Braves guy all the way?
All the way. Okay. I love the Braves.
So what is it? Obviously, he's a third baseman. You're a third baseman, so you both play the same position. But what is it about Austin Riley's game that you admire the most?
How confident he is in his game and, like, his fielding ability. He is an amazing fielder. He can hit, too, and he can hit it everywhere. He's not just a pool side, an oppo guy. He can hit it all around the field.
All right, let's go back to we were talking about Coach E earlier, and we're talking about practice, and you're saying, he's a pretty laid-back, nice guy, but he can get after it. Nicest, mean guy, as Peeler said. Yeah. Is there anybody at practice that it just seems like every time you look at Coach E, he is on their tail more than anybody else for some reason?
Not really. But with Coach Blythe, he's usually on Jackson Bonner's tail a good bit.
Now, you guys are unique. Oxford's similar, but not a lot of places are like this. Your baseball field isn't right here on campus where you just, go behind the school. You guys go over to Neely Henry. That's where Jacksonville's been playing for years and years. Talk about, commuting over there to the park, and then talk about, just playing there.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much because I've always done that since 7th grade. It's not a big bother to me. And I forgot what you asked.
I was just asking you about playing there. What's it like to be able to play there?
Oh, it's a great atmosphere over there. The scenery's great. The hill is pretty tough to walk up there sometimes, especially after a hard leg day. But it's a nice atmosphere. It's a nice scenery and everything.
Now, there's some houses like deep in the outfield. Have you ever seen anyone hit one that deep that it's hit one of the houses?
I haven't seen anyone hit the house, but a couple years ago in the playoffs, someone has almost hit one.
From y'all's team or the other team?
Other team, unfortunately.
Well, let's not talk about that then. Final question I want to ask you, Ryan, and we were kind of talking about post-high school, what you want to do, but why don't you just kind of talk about, man, what your goal in life is, your career, what you want to do after high school. Just kind of talk about your future.
Yeah, my future, I want to go to college. I'm not sure where. Hopefully get an offer to go somewhere and play baseball or football. And for my career, I want to be an athletic trainer. I want to stay in sports, stay in that area, and take care of athletes.
All right, Ryan Mitchell of the Jacksonville Golden Eagles, and that is going to do it for us today. But hey, we'll be back here at Jacksonville High School again tomorrow, where we'll be talking Jacksonville Golden Eagles softball with Coach Atchley. So again, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page, and I will see you back here tomorrow night. I'm Namath Pitts, and thank you for watching The Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.